Welcome to Hoya Locker Room. This is episode 11. As those who tuned in, the goal here is to celebrate my brothers, my Hoya family. In Pat we trust, all connected by Pat. Obviously, we all play for the same cat. Big John, you got him a little bit later on than I had.
Yeah.
But I want to jump into that a little bit. But first, I want to give a heartfelt remembrance of Charlie Mo Harrison. It's no accident that you two gentlemen, I reached out. Reached out to Joey first, and his first deal was like, let me get church. So it makes sense to me that you two. I'm sure you want to say a few words, and really appreciate it.
Sure.
So, Joey, you can start because you're the point guard.
Okay, sure, no problem. Charlie Mo, man. That was a tough one for me. We came in together, always had a smile on his face. Fierce competitor, but always was the life of the party. So we didn't speak often, life happens. But when we did speak, it was just like old times, like we didn't miss a beat.
And that's what this is about, Joey. That's what this is about.
So,
we need to, we definitely need to speak more.
Yeah, and I had seen Charlie. I saw Charlie. I think it was probably approximately 7 years ago. The last Georgetown Syracuse game when Syracuse was leaving the Big East. Me, him, Church, Lamont, and a couple other our classmates. We met out for some drinks. Mm-hmm. And it was still same Charlie Mo. Yep. Just the same guy, great guy. Yeah. Rest in peace. My prayers to his family, his beautiful daughters, his brother, mother and father. This is tough. It was a tough one.
Man. Well said. Church.
I just have to kind of second everything Joey just said. It's definitely a shocker. It's definitely a tough one to swallow. Charlie and I competed against each other in high school, and just like Joey said, man, just was a fierce competitor, and just one of the most loyal brothers that that I knew. You think that's a really great quality to have in a friendship, in a brotherhood. Someone that's just going to give it to you straight, no chasing. We all know that's how Mo liked it, straight with no chasing.
That's it.
And,
that's it.
I love that.
Literally, right, Church?
Just like Joey said, man, rest in peace. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Rest in peace. Rest in power. Charlie Mo, we love you, brother.
Yeah, and for me, I just want to bring in the DC angle, the DMV angle. I mean, it's a DC brother. He was part of that mob at Carroll. Charlie Gunslinger. What I love about our Hoya family is, man, you touched on it, Joey. We may not talk often, but when we do, it's heartfelt. I mean, we were in those battles together. We were in those trenches together, and we lost a soldier. Yes, and like I said, there's no accident. I got two of the cats that were in the foxhole with him, and I just, again, from the DC family, man, we lost one. I think there's some services maybe this week, and if I get that intel, I'll pump it out. But I'm sure the family really appreciate those kind words, and with that, peace up, baby. Peace up, baby. So now I can put my hat on, my Hoya hat on. So you don't have to see my scar tissue. You have to see my scar tissue, and we can get into these two esteemed gentlemen. So I'm gonna start with Church because it's easy to start with Joey because I've been stalking Joey. I've been stalking him for about 2 years now, man. And I'll get into why. But I know he was like, man, why is this old dude always me out? But I'm gonna get into that. But Church, you remind me of a cat I played ball with in high school, and that, he matriculated to Georgetown as well, Billy Martin. And, when I first saw him, I'm like, leg, hands, speed.
Yeah.
You were more perimeter. Like your Jimmy might be a little bit better, and you were equally adept on that baseline too, because Billy was money on that baseline. But so you've always had that. I've always been like I got a connection to this guy, and then you rocking 22, and you rocked it way better than me. So that was my attraction to you. And Mr. Brown, you embodied for me everything that I wanted to be as a point guard. It's no accident that there's only one cat with the numbers you have. Over 1,000 points, 500 assists, 400 rebounds. I'm gonna go ahead and give you 300 steals. They say 296. I think it was 300.
That's round up. That's round up, Gene. I'm good with that.
All right, we're gonna round that thing up.
Yeah.
So both of you cats, like, I feel connected to. So I just want to dive into what got you to Georgetown in terms of your journey. I know you both had options, and see, that's where, again, I have that major appreciation, because you had options and you chose Georgetown. And I like for that story to be told. I think that kind of gets left out, because it's when you have so many options. I mean, Georgetown, in the scheme of things, is like, okay, in church, and you had Duke, Notre Dame. So we'll start with you, Church. What got you interested in Georgetown, other than you're part of that Gonzaga family? What was that process like for you, and
Right.
how'd that happen?
Well, Gene, growing up, being always one of the tallest, I was always the center.
Right.
And so, Patrick Ewing was, someone who I looked up to, wanted to emulate, just his toughness, the way he just brought it. And so, being a big Patrick Ewing fan, obviously I was a Georgetown fan. And so, and then, growing up, halftime in the city, because I'm originally from Indiana, but my pops has been in the DMV for over 50 years.
Okay.
And so I actually used to live out in PG. And then, so I would be there every summer, and then started going to high school there. And then, from that time, man, just watching Georgetown, just, how fierce, how number 22, would just set the tone on that defensive end. I think his last name is Smith, and and just
all right.
Just really grew into being a Georgetown fan, man. And look, and back then I didn't have color TV. I was watching y'all in black and white.
we were America's black team for a reason.
Yes, sir.
But
That's it.
But was
That's
the
it.
process?
So when it came down to it, when it came down to it, man, I just believe that Coach Thompson and staff just showed an intentional sincerity. They didn't pull any punches, and they just made me feel like that was where I wanted to be. That was where I wanted to have an opportunity to grow as a man.
Lovely. Mr. Brown?
Sure. Yeah. So my story is a little bit different than Church. I grew up in a small town, Morgan City, Louisiana. So everyone back in the early 80s and 90s, they were Georgetown fans. That's just what it was, because of the roots that Coach had put down in Louisiana. Started with, I guess, I think Steve Martin, Jaron, Perry McDonald, Jonathan Edwards. So everyone in Louisiana was Georgetown fans. But when the recruitment started, I'm an only child, so I actually committed to Tulane University, right about 90 miles up the road in New Orleans.
Okay.
And so on signing day, my head coach, my high school coach, he was back in the day, so they would fax it over to this high school. and they faxed the letter of intent, and my coach never gave it to me.
On purpose or?
On purpose. On purpose. It was intentional because I was a Georgetown fan. I wanted to go to Georgetown, but my thing was, I didn't come from a lot of means, so I wanted my parents to see me play. So I was thinking about them and really not thinking about myself. So fast forward, about the school day was over, and I'm asking my coach, where's the paperwork from Tulane? So I never got it. So he said, I want to come home and talk to you and your parents. So we sat there and spoke for, I guess, it felt like an eternity, but I guess a couple hours. And he said, I know why you're doing what you're doing, but this is your life. Your parents are going to be fine, and Georgetown is a place for you. And I knew that after speaking with Coach, and Coach Eschrick was my recruiter, and like Church said, they were completely honest with me. That was the biggest thing. It wasn't, nothing was going to be handed to you. You're going to get your education, which was huge in my family, my parents. And then it was Coach Thompson, and in the Black family in Louisiana, he was a god. It meant something. It meant a lot. So after a discussion, I switched my commitment and I signed my letter of intent to Georgetown. And
that's awesome. So to piggyback on that, are those routes, are those trails still open for Georgetown, you think, in Louisiana?
I think it can. I think it can be. I think it can be, because I think I'm actually in Houston now, so I'm still down south. And I'm not. I'll be honest with you, Gina. I'm not that familiar with. I don't keep up with the recruiting scene and the high school scene in Louisiana that much. But I think it could be. I just think, and I think it's Coach Kirby's on the staff. I think he has some good connections down there, and I know there's ball players. Louisiana and Texas, they're football states, but there's some basketball players there. Right. I think with a commitment to getting the guys from Louisiana and showing, the first thing you got to get them to campus. I'll tell you this. Folks from Louisiana, they won't leave the South. So once you get them to campus, it's a different story.
Right.
But the hardest thing is getting them on campus.
So Church, with you being in the city, did you have an official visit, or was it one of those deals where they just kept in touch with you? How was that recruiting process for you? Church, can you hear us?
Yeah, with me being in the area. Yep. Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. Yeah, with me being right there in the area, Gene, it was a one night unofficial visit, and that's pretty much all I needed. Sid Levy, who was a senior manager at the time, basically was the one who was my host.
Okay.
And so Sid showed me around a little bit.
So did they really want you to come? They get manager as a host?
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't really have a chance to get out and party a little bit,
Oh, Sid, that's slick.
Put it like this, man. Sid showed me a part of Georgetown that definitely made me want to come. I say that.
Yeah, and I say that because I had a real appreciation for the managers at Georgetown, because it's almost like they got called as many MS.
Oh yeah. Oh, they had it just as bad as us.
So I'm thinking these cats not even suited
sure did.
Right.
And they going through it. Yeah. And again, I had them in the 80s, and I felt bad for the people that had Big John before me. And when I say I feel bad, it's one of those things where it's almost comedy, because it's a battle of attrition.
Yes.
And which brings me to, I'm looking at 2 4-year starters. That to me is mind blowing. In my 4 years, there were no 4-year starters I played with, other than cats that were like Sleep was a 4-year starter, so I played 2 years with Sleep. Patrick was a 4-year starter, but I only played 3 years with him. So just the fact that I'm talking to two cats that started from the rip, and I'm gonna start with you, Joey, because hearing your recruiting process or hearing your thought process, you had David Edwards there, literally another number 10 there. And I'm just gonna fast forward. After you was AI. So it's like in the middle, my man doesn't get the love. He's not getting the love. That's why I stalk you. That's why I stalk you. Because again, 4-year starter, playing the point, playing for Big John. I know what that's like. Just give me your thought processes, because my freshman year was my worst year academically. I mean, I had to make the transition, but I couldn't imagine starting in the Big East for a nationally ranked team from the South coming to Georgetown. Just give me what that was like.
Well, the transition was difficult. I didn't get comfortable probably until mid-season, start of Big East. As you guys both know, the transition from high school to college, it's a tremendous jump. The speed of the game, the athletes, the quality of players, the quality of coaches. So it was an adjustment. And you touched on something, Gene, when you said academically. That was my biggest jump. I came from a small public school in Morgan City, Louisiana. So the academic adjustment, the time management. We spend 6 hours at the gym, 6 hours at the gym, and then you still have to get up in the morning. You still have to study. You still have to get to that 8 o'clock class. So that was the biggest adjustment. Basketball wise, I struggled a little bit early on in my freshman year, but I had to give it to like guys like Church, Charlie Moe. They were also freshmen starting. So I had a sounding board. We were all going through the same struggles.
Right.
So that made the transition a lot easier. And I'll be honest, Coach helped me because Coach gave me the keys.
Gave you the keys.
Coach gave me the keys. So it was my team.
And you drove it, baby. You drove it.
I did my best. It was easier. I had Alonzo and Dikembe. But, so that made it a lot easier. But it was a lot of long nights questioning yourself, questioning your ability, just all of those things. But having good teammates, good coaching staff, that helped. That truly helped.
Mr. Churchwell, Big East.
Yes, sir.
Big East all rookie team. So your transition, was it as smooth as it looked? Was it one of those things that you just fell into? Again, all Big East as a rookie, that's no slouch. What was your process like?
Really, many of the same things that Joey just talked about, man. I think one of the biggest pluses was having Joey and Charlie Moe and Lamont Morgan. We all came in together as freshmen, and as freshmen who were going to be counted on to really play a big role. I don't think we really knew what our role was going to be, or we didn't really know it was going to be that big until it happened, right? Until you see, guys starting to leave. So at that point, I think just the competitive side in us that has always been there just kind of took over, and good, bad, or ugly. And sometimes it was ugly, I think one thing we always did, man. One thing we always did was we played hard, man. Yes. We played hard for that uniform. We played hard for the university, and we played hard for each other. I think my freshman year, I think the biggest thing that I wanted to do was just prove that I belonged there.
Okay.
And so, I did what I did best. I just ran. I ran the floor, and Joy would pass that thing. And I ran, tried to get some rebounds. It was tough trying to rebound in between Zoe and Dikembe. But and then at the end of the day, man, just worked hard. Just worked hard.
Yeah, I watched last night the Arkansas game, and just the first half. I didn't want to watch the second half.
Okay.
Right? And there was a play, and just what you spoke to about giving it your all, leaving it on the court, and there obviously was a Hoya way. And there was a play with you and Daniel. And, whatever. It happened. As basketball players, we're the worst fighters. We fancy ourselves as fighters. But what I took away was Joey's reaction. I mean, I don't know where he came from, but he had some dude.
I had him in the headlock. I had him in the full Nelson.
That's all instinct. That's all instinct.
My man.
And he was right there. And then I saw you two chopping it up on the other end, trying to get back into the. And I just said, man, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's why this little shenanigans I'm doing right now is important to me. Because it's those type things. You watching the game, you might be, who scores the most points, boom, boom, boom. We definitely play uglier than y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, our first game in the NCAA is that when we win the chip, it's 37-36. So that's just ugly basketball. But when I saw Joey and Don Reed got kicked out because he came off the bench, but I was like, they're my dudes right there. They're my dudes. So I just wanted to touch on that. But yeah, the 4-year starter thing is mind blowing to me. And again, I think that appreciation level for you two kind of gets lost in the shuffle because I mean we got tons of cats. I mean I remember when there was a top 100 list that came out, and of course you two are there where you should be, or it's debatable, but I think those lists should be celebrated. We're not. We're not a basketball power in terms of exposure and what we put into the program and what we bring in, but in terms of all things being relative and what we've accomplished, I think that should be celebrated. And that's what this is about, and I want to celebrate more. So I want to kick into, do you felt like as a team, you guys accomplished whatever you could? Because individually, again, I think individually, you are two team cats. And the fact that you accomplished what you did individually is mind-blowing. And you're going to hear mind-blowing a lot. So as a team goes, how do you guys feel about the team and what you accomplished and what you could have accomplished? And, that's kind of a loaded question. But, again, I'm talking to two team guys. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think.
Sure. I'll start. So I think our freshman year, Church, I would say, probably was our best team because we had Alonzo and Dikembe there. But Zoe got hurt. I think that it was at the Duke game. I think Zoe got hurt the Duke game and missed the next 15, 16 games after that. And then he came back towards the end of the year, and that we played UNLV in the second round of the tournament. I think if Zoe would have been healthy our entire freshman year, I think the outcome would have been a little bit different because it's Alonzo. So his presence, although we had Dikembe, Alonzo was on a different level.
Sure.
So I think that was probably our best team, and we actually, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we win the Big East our sophomore year, Church?
Yeah.
I think we won the Big East our sophomore year.
That was your
regular season, right?
Was that your sophomore year? Was your all Big East?
Yes.
Second team, right? Was that?
Yes. Yeah. So I think I won't say that we underachieved. I would say that I would say that the results probably didn't match the talent level, and which happens.
I knew
It
you would
happens.
say that. You're such a competitor. I knew you would say that. Yeah.
So it happens. And going back to what you said, Jen, I don't feel underappreciated from people that know the game of basketball. That I will say that folks, and I love fans because that support. I don't even like calling people fans. I like calling people supporters. So I from the supporters, they may not understand the value of church or myself, but you, as as a former player, the coaches, they understood our value. So I don't feel underappreciated at all.
Love. Churchwell?
Yeah. Just to jump on that, man. I think about the 3 Big East tournament finals that we were in, and just not being able to close out. One of those finals we played Syracuse, and I shot a last second air ball, and I used to have to get reminded of that every Big East tournament time.
Of course.
From my players and my students, they
what are teammates for?
they would see it like, Coach, what happened? But man, at the end of the day, could there have been more success? Yes. Should there have been more success? Probably. But like I said, man, we gave all we had to give.
Right.
And so I'm able to look in the mirror and say, I left it all out there.
As I mentioned, I watched.
To go back to that, Gene, I don't mean to interrupt you, but to go back to that Syracuse
you gotta interrupt
game.
me, Joey. I'll talk the whole time.
Why you got to go back there though?
No, but I'm gonna tell you why. Church, because actually so Dave Johnson hit that shot, the game winner, right? So Gene, Dave and I were high school
a tough ass shot,
and that's my cousin. Yeah, that's my cousin. Wow. So we were high school teammates, but during the timeout, coach knew he was going to take the shot. So he told me to double off of my man, and I had a brain fart and didn't double.
God.
and didn't double.
Done.
It's too much humility. You just locked up.
Right? But he did hit a tough shot over Zoe and off of Zoe's fingertips.
Right. So
he did.
Yeah, that's what was interesting for me with that run. Your 4 years, both your 4 years. You played UNLV in the tournament, and you played Arkansas in the tournament. As we talk about, and I like talking about it because I'm from that time, and I talk about Black America's team because, fellas, we did not know that we were that. I didn't find out that love. I didn't feel that love until I moved to New York City. And cats in New York City was like, yo, man, we were really feeling y'all. And the reason why I bring that up is because both those teams, say what you want, they were in our part of our timeline. Mm-hmm. I mean, you think of Georgetown, you think of UNLV, you think of Arkansas, you think of the Fab Five. Because we brought that cultural element. What was the games like? Was there trash talking? Did you feel like there was reverence? Did you feel like it took it to another level? Like they were more competitive? And obviously, Joy, you had the family you were playing against. But what was it like from what was it like on the court?
Well, that UNLV game was fun. By that time, that was our freshman year. So you're no longer a freshman then.
Right.
So it's just basketball now. And I remember I remember how excited Coach was. You know, because by the time we were there, Coach was a little bit older. You know, he had won his national championship, so he was, you know, he was not, I won't say coasting, but he was content with his career. But I recall the pregame and the leading up into the UNLV game that that was probably the most excited that I had seen him that year. You know, because it's competitive juices. You know, coach is competitive.
I was jealous. I was jealous. Y'all were playing. I was jealous.
So coach, you know, so that I recall that being one. That's one of the things I do recall, how excited he was about having the opportunity, you know, to play UNLV. And then Zoe was back, so we actually felt that we could win that game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, yeah. So we actually felt that we could win that game, but you know that UNLV was a special team. You know, and you couldn't, like, with them, man. You blink and it's a 10-0 run.
Right.
You know, and it wasn't a whole lot of trash talk. I think I remember one play, like I remember Larry Johnson. You remember Brian Kelly, right?
Yes.
Big Brian. I remember LJ laid it up, and you know Brian, big brawny guy, 6'6". So LJ laid it up, and it was running down the court, and Brian got in his way, and LJ threw a forearm right in his chest. Boom! I was like, God damn.
That's what we used to do.
To myself, yeah. You know, I was like, God damn. That's what I was like, damn, this is real. But it was fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun.
It was.
Church, you want to touch on that Arkansas game a little bit?
Yeah, man.
Again, I didn't rewatch the second half, just so you know.
Yeah.
So you can say anything and I'm good.
Yeah. You know, I remember, and Joy may have more of a memory than this, but I remember Corey Beck having
I'm trying to take that charge on you, yo. You sidestepped him, yo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But they, you know, they still gave me the charge. It's funny you bring that up, man. Years later, somebody had a picture of that play, that particular play. Corey Beck falling back, me trying to, you know, sidestep him for me to sign. It's crazy how what Joey, you know, says how the supporters will find stuff, you know, when they are Hoya fans, you know. But you know, man, I just remember that senior year, that senior tournament just being our last run, and you know, just trying to play it out as hard as we could. That Arkansas game was really a tough battle, man. You know, it's a game of runs back and forth. You know, I personally didn't shoot well.
Yeah, but
I can't really remember
things, dog. You did so many other things. Yeah.
You know, and then I remember McDaniel cutting, and I kind of got caught up, and so I didn't have my balance, and I fell on him. And then he kind of swung back, and I was thinking to myself, "No, this mother, just do that." You know what I'm saying? So that's when we kind of jumped up, squared off a little bit, and then I didn't realize till later that the Bama tried to kick me. Yeah. Someone told me later. I didn't even realize that, man. Yeah, but I had no idea.
Your man had you though. Your man had you.
Oh, yeah.
My boys was right there. My boys was right there, man. Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
Right. So that again for me, you know, I cherished the NCAA moments, and it was only one year you cats didn't make the tournament. Those 3 Big East finals were huge, and I don't think there's anything about your careers that remotely resemble underachieving as a team. You know, so yeah, I definitely want to celebrate everything you guys accomplished. Want to transition a little bit into family, because you both are family men. I see more of Joey's stuff than I do yours, Church. You got a little bit of anonymity going on over there. You in that witness protection. If you guys want to touch on, because obviously Hoya family, but then there's your support system. If you want to touch on that a little bit, because Joey know where I'm going with this. So if you could touch on it, I'd love it. I know, Church, you sitting on a starting five down there. So
yeah, man, I got 5 beautiful children, man. I have daughters, 22, 19, and 5, and then I have 2 sons, 16 and 8. So like I said, man, didn't think I'd ever have 5, but now I can't think of life without any of them, So right now we have 4 in the house this summer, because obviously 22-year-old is out. Our 19-year-old, she is a rising junior at Hampton University, but she's out doing her thing as a 19-year-old, and so we just have 3 or 4 in the house now, or 3 in the house now, man. So just love them, playing games, doing schoolwork, doing enrichment work, going outside. Got the basketball hoop outside, playing. I got bad knees and feet right now, so I can't face up like I used to. I'm just in the post doing jumpers.
Gene,
what's up?
No, Church is being humble. Tell him about your coaching career, Church.
Please.
Oh yeah, man. I was a high school coach, man. High school head coach for 11 years. In Georgia, here in Richmond, Virginia, and then for a year up in Maryland. And man, was able to get to three Final Fours.
Congratulations.
Won a couple championships, region championship, state championship. Help guide several young men to college, both football and basketball players, man. It was just a love of giving back what I was given, from Mr. Harris in the 7th grade, Mr. Jackson in the 8th, Big Myers in high school, Coach Thompson, all throughout college. So just giving back everything that I was given.
Can you mention your foundation? Because I thought of you the other day, because I saw your teammate, the celebrity teammate that that's gonna save the world, traveling around. Dikembe is an international philanthropist.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, well, Dikembe, I just need you to show up at Church's joint, just to show up and bless it. Just do the finger wave or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I need.
He don't need nothing. He just needs you to show up. So
that's it.
Just talk a little bit about your foundation, please.
Man, Team Magic, mental athletic growth in kids, is something I started actually. It's been about 9 years now.
Okay.
And it's been a slow process. Obviously life, 5 kids. That'll do it, right? But over the last couple of years, man, we've seen some pretty good success. We've had some partnerships with Chesterfield County Public Schools here in Richmond, Virginia, which has over 69,000 students. We've also had a partnership as one of the select after-school programs through Richmond Public Schools as well. Doing after-school program, weekend programs, man. We had a brief relationship with Adidas, Boys and Girls Club here in Richmond. So we're just trying to reach, teach, and mentor one child at a time, man. Just trying to make a difference, one at a time. And it's been really fruitful for me.
Right.
I tell you, man, when my 8-year-old came to me last year and said, "Dad, I have too many toys. I want to give them to the kids that don't have any toys." That just showed me that what he was seeing, was something
right.
greater, than himself, man. So yeah.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
To talk about that, man.
We have listeners. It may only be 2.
Yeah.
we got some listeners, and hopefully, this thing I hope it gets recorded and it'll sit on Facebook for as long as it sits on Facebook.
Yeah, and just to mention, you talk about the brotherhood. You know, my point guard Joey. You know, he donated some balls, man, and I was able to take some basketballs over to Peter Paul Development Center, which is in one of the poorest areas of Richmond. And the boys were just happy, man. I was able to take 4 brand new basketballs over there because of, you know, brotherhood and selflessness like Joey.
You can't help it. Always dropping dimes. Can't help it.
Yeah.
And it's funny to hear him call me Joey, though. I never heard him call me Joey in forever, so.
I know, right? I'm normally like Black. Thanks, Black.
And I think the thanks Black is appropriate on here. Now the other thing we used to being called, that's not appropriate on here. Right. It might slip out for me because, you know, I'm a little older. I can't control myself. You know, I got that tick.
So, man, you know, we couldn't believe it when we would hear the old cats come back and be like, man, coaching got soft. We just looked like, what?
Yeah.
No, the stories. I'm going to ask each of us to share a story that you basically said to yourself, what's wrong with this dude? Joey, let's hear a little bit about what you up to, what's going on.
Sure. So I'm sure, no problem. I'm in Houston, Texas now. So I've been here approximately 18 years. Married to my beautiful wife. Got a beautiful wife, Katrina. 2 kids. I have a 11-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. So I got a late start. So that's. So,
you know you're talking to the wrong dude about late.
I know. I forgot about you. You're right. You're right. I guess it's all relative. I guess that's all relative, then.
Yeah, for real.
So you know, so I'm just enjoying fatherhood, and I like Church said, I never thought I would have this life, but I can't imagine living without them. You know, everything that I do is for them, and you know, so my son, you know, I coach his AAU team. My daughter, I met every tennis practice and gymnastics, and I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Right.
Yeah.
That's again, that's part of my attraction to both you cats is that spiritual side. And again, it comes through because you were such fierce competitors. And then the few times, you know, I've been blessed to see either of you personally or off the court. And those times may be few in between, but I mean, you guys always conducted yourself a certain way. And I just want to throw out, I worked in the footwear and apparel industry for over 2 decades. So, you know, Church, in terms of that sponsorship shit, we may need to chop it up a little bit.
Okay.
Same thing for you, Joey. Anything I can, you know, that's just something that's long overdue for us.
Okay.
And again, it's never been about, to me, what Georgetown did or didn't do for us. It's about what can we do for each other. I say that because I think that's why we all went to Georgetown, for those connections post graduation, right? I mean, I think that's why all the students go there. I mean, if I did anything in foreign service, I'd be running to Georgetown. Right. You know, I mean, we just had Dr. Fauci on campus. So it's not we lack connections, but I do think we need to reach each other more, touch each other more, and I think I have no doubt the university will follow suit, and again that's just how I feel. And I'm a little older getting to this, but I've been busy, like we all have. We've been busy with life, but if anything, this thing we're going through now, that the whole world's going through, I mean, it's giving us all pause, right? We slow down a little bit on purpose, whether we want to or not. I can't think of any better time to reestablish connections and you know, enjoy the fruits of our labor, but also share the fruits of our labor. So anything I can help with, let's just connect. Let's just, you know, talk it through. I mean, you know, the point guard, you know, hooked you. let me try to hook you. I mean, I led the team just I think 1 year. I think 1 year, and that's not bad for a cat that only averaged 20 minutes a game.
Yo, you being humble, Gene. You know you the heart and soul, baby.
That's
You
it.
being humble.
Joey, I was
That's
good
it.
for 20 minutes. That's it. Good for 20 minutes.
You being humble, bro.
Yeah, you set that
tone.
tone.
But
You set that tone.
There's 3 humble cats on this joint. We all humble. I mean, we again, we're humble pie. I mean, but my fear was, because, you know, the word on Joey is, he ain't real. If he don't know you, he ain't giving up a whole lot. He gonna sit.
No, I know. Yeah.
You know, I was, you know, Church, was you on that Zoom call we had? And Joey was sitting in the coat. I think he had the hoodie on.
I did.
So and I've never been like that, but I get it. Like it's long overdue for us to embrace each other. My segue is Christian, Joey. That's my segue.
Right.
Class for 2027. I think I wrote down his handle on IG. I think it's XTIAN 2027. If you are a Hoya supporter, I recommend that you follow this young man on IG. You ain't got to follow Joey. Joey, he gave us everything he had. But if you can follow this young man, I just think he's special. If I was anywhere near Patrick, I would be saying to him, just go ahead and offer him now. First of all, it's just a good look. And second of all, I don't think you'll be disappointed. But if you could just share a little bit about your young fella, because again, I think he's special. He embodies so much for me. I mean, I'm his biggest fan, by the way. You know, putting you on the spot.
My wife tells, because I see. I mean, Christian, he's a typical 11-year-old man.
He's not typical, but okay.
Right.
No, the one thing that I appreciate about him is that he doesn't mind working. Like I don't have to tap him on the shoulder. He's like, you know, he's always ready to work. And he gets it honestly because he works hard. I don't know, Gene. You put me on the spot, man. He's in middle school, man.
I know. Point God, I put you on the spot because, you know, again, I'm a stalker, right? I'm stalking the kid, and
yeah. I will say this, Gene. He has an opportunity to be a pretty good basketball player. I will say that.
Right.
But my wife and I mean, he's driving the bus. I'm just along for the ride. Right. You know, we you know, it's a typical father-son relationship. You know, we butt heads. You know, he gets mad at me. He doesn't want to listen to me. But at the end of the day, he told me he wants to be good, and I've been fortunate enough to play at the highest level, and I know what it takes to get there. And he listens and he works hard, and that's all I can ask. He does well in school. You know, that's I don't have much more to say about
the range on the young man's interest, right?
Yes.
He's doing the football thing right now, right?
Yeah, he does a little bit. I mean, he's football. He's in band, right? Karate. Yeah, we do. You know, we're throwing everything at him and see what sticks.
And do you have another Serena down there, or is she just playing around?
No, she's a little bit different, Gene. Girls are.
Churchwell, we're gonna ask you about the
girls. Those girls are a little bit different. She'll be Serena today, and then she doesn't want to look at her tennis racket tomorrow. You know, and she'd rather do her YouTube vlog or whatever that is. Right. No, but that's my baby. Christian has my personality, and my daughter has my wife's, and Church has met my wife. So everything you see in that personality is her mother.
Dope.
But, yeah, so no, that's my baby.
All right.
Yeah.
Church, The daughters. Give me a little insight on the daughters. Are we doing doctors, lawyers?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think my oldest, 22, she's still trying to find herself. So we'll give her some time to do that. Our middle daughter, like I said, she's a rising junior at Hampton. She's in a 5-year MBA program. She really wants to go into fashion.
Okay.
And her big thing was going to fashion school and all that. He's like, pump the brakes. What you're gonna do is go to business school, learn how to run a business first.
Run your own business.
Then you can go to your fashion school and all that, right? But you gotta learn how to run a business first, man. So, but she's heavy into fashion. Really wants to go into fashion, probably as a buyer, seller, a designer, something like that.
So just to
she
interrupt you because I'm old and I may forget.
Yeah.
Wifey is a costume designer. I'm in LA, fellas.
Okay.
So she's been in the business for over 20 years. So in terms of connections, when that thing jumps off and you want some references or just to talk about the game, because
Yes,
she's
indeed.
married to me, she's gonna give it to you direct. It's not gonna be
yes, indeed.
So yeah, just put that out there. I'm old, I might forget. So yeah.
Okay, all right. I appreciate that.
I'm writing stuff down.
Right.
I appreciate that, man. Let me see. I got 3 more. Yeah. My 16-year-old man, rising junior in high school, loves basketball, plays a little bit, is really interested in running some track, Gene,
Mm-hmm.
and straight A student, man, just a brainiac. Gets that from his father, and my youngest, I'm gonna skip my youngest son, but my youngest, my daughter, she's probably the most athletic out of all of them, which is really funny, man. Just watching her run and jump, and she hangs with her older brother, but she's probably the most athletic. Right now, she's really into gymnastics. That is her thing right now. And lastly, my youngest son, he's 8, 5 feet tall, Gene.
I was about to say he's about 6'2" already.
5 feet tall, no joke. And he don't turn 9 until late October. And he just started playing basketball this year, organized, and he really loved it, man. So we'll see. We're gonna keep it fun. He gonna learn, we're gonna teach, but we're gonna keep it fun, and then we'll see. Just like Joey said, he'll drive the bus. If he wants to go outside and shoot, which he does all the time, whether it's raining or not. Hey, can I go outside? Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay.
So yeah, man. So just enjoying watching them grow, watching how different they are, but how similar they are, and just trying to give them support wherever we can.
I want to just share. So I reached out to both of you yesterday, and I was just going through what old people go through, right? I mean, what's going on today in the world. Yesterday I had to go out, so just going out and being out. And Cali's back on lockdown, but everybody's out. And it just was surreal to me. So I literally was just calling you guys to talk me off a ledge. Like I was literally.
I'm sorry I wasn't there for you.
So I just wanted to, definitely ask how you guys are doing during this time. Like, how are you adjusting? Because clearly it's not business as usual. But on the flip side, you can't stop. You can't stop living. So how are you both adjusting and how are you staying level-headed?
Sure. I mean, like you said, Gene, it's definitely not. It's not normal times. There's a level of adjustment that's needed by everyone. My wife and I, we're fortunate that that our jobs weren't affected by this. My wife actually has to go into work every day. So the kids are actually they're virtually homeschooling. I'm working from home. We try to keep it as normal as possible for them. But my son is a little bit older, so he's a little bit more aware of what's going on. So he's asking a lot of questions, and he's concerned about his mother, going to work every day. But we're just living. I mean, like you said, we're just trying to keep it as normal as possible, living our life, just continuing to support one another, and just hoping this whole thing settles down soon, so we can get back to our old normal.
And on top of that,
which I doubt.
The weather. On top of that, the weather is
exactly.
This is the most active hurricane season ever. Like if we
so we're being cautious. My family and I, we're being cautious because just to share some personal, my wife went through some stuff a few years ago that compromised her immune system. So we really have to be extra careful.
Right.
So that's the concern that I have. Not concerned with myself. I'm more concerned with them. Sure. And especially her. So we've been on. I hadn't been out of the house besides to the grocery store since March. Mm-hmm. I haven't done anything since March. The furthest I've been was to the backyard, and that's it. So we're
like
adjusting.
The backyard, by the way. I like the backyard.
You like the backyard? Yeah. See, we decided to invest a little bit. Yeah.
That's a nice setup, isn't it?
Nice setup down there.
Yeah, we decided to invest a little bit. Dude, I'm gonna tell you why I did that though. I was spending so much money finding a gym, and finding a gym, finding somebody to train him.
Right.
I was like, man, I can invest a few $1,000s in this. I can do this myself.
Right.
So it's an investment. So it's worked out so far.
Love. Churchwell, how you guys handling down there?
Man, just fortunate that we're all safe, we're all healthy. Also fortunate that both my wife and my job weren't affected. I'm in education. Been in education for the last 17 years. 15 of those years I was in the classroom, and so we went obviously from face to face to virtual learning. My wife has the ability to work from home, which is great. She prefers that anyway. The biggest thing is no one ever told me that second grade and kindergarten was so damn hard, man.
Oh my God!
Having to you know what I'm saying? Having to help them with schoolwork. God damn.
Hey, Black.
My God.
He said second grade.
That was hard, man.
I know.
I got a Georgetown degree. Why is this so hard?
My favorite thing is wait till your mother comes home. We'll deal with it. Wait till mom comes home.
But man, really, man, just focusing on the good. It was so much bad and strife around us, man. It's we got a lot of blessings here,
right?
And really just focusing on that, man, is just really what's been helping us maintain.
So with that, I'm gonna wind it down because you guys have been gracious on your Sunday, and I think it's appropriate. It's like a Sunday sermon, and I think I was able to tweet it out that. This episode is in memory of Charlie Moe. And again, I think it's just appropriate that it's you two. And I just want to just make sure that you guys know that I'm a phone call away, dude, a text away, just to chop it up. You probably hear from me before I hear from you, just because I need help over here. Like I need to be able to get through the day. And just because of the things we shared, McDonough Gym, the Hilltop, and our perspective, right? I mean, I just think about, just our perspective is unique. And even if we're just talking to ourselves, it's therapeutic for me. And Church, if you think I'm lying, ask Joey how long I've been stalking him. He will tell you.
Years, Church, years.
And I know he scratches it, and not directly, Church, not like, yo, Joey, boom, boom, boom. Just every now and then.
Yeah.
My wife was like, who is this? I said, that's Gene. Said, he's always commenting on Christian. He loves Christian. I said, yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but he's a little different. But yeah, man, I just want to end just on proximity is closer now. Like what we're doing now, 10 years ago or 5 years ago or a year ago, we weren't doing it. And if we were doing it, we were doing it strictly for business. And from a Hoya standpoint, I'm gonna push this Hoya locker room thing for as long as I can until somebody else take it over, because this is about us. So, Church, you can do it. Joy, you can do it. We all can do it, because it's just one of those things. If we don't celebrate each other, who will celebrate us?
Right.
And it's not like. It's not like this is something that we have to rehearse. I sent out the questions just to think about this, but I haven't referred to one question.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at the questions, Gene.
Right. They need to.
I figured it was a locker room. So
That's why you had a tough time freshman year. I'm looking at the questions.
Touche.
So I'm just going to end with my Big John story, where I thought there's something wrong with this man. And feel free to share one, or feel free not to share one. And mine is pretty G-rated, because I got to be honest, I think Coach felt sorry for me more than anything. So he said, I'm going to leave that dude alone. So for me, it was senior year, and I'm thinking, I'm out this. I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know how you feel senior year. And I figured I done got out of here unscathed. We came in 5, only 2 left. I'm thinking I'm good.
Right.
We sitting in the locker room one day, and he started talking. That little dribble is bouncing around like the bouncer.
Yeah. The white stuff on his lip.
And he starts in on me, and he's doing it in a way that, it's cool. It's like, this dude here got everything out of his ability, blah, blah, blah. But then he goes, and he can't even hear. He can only hear out of one ear. Come on, man. You dealing with 17, 18. That's a joke. You just set me up.
Yeah.
I got cats running around doing this. He thought he was paying me a compliment. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You just gave them jokes. It's like you're airballing. Yeah. That's a joke. So to me, I said to myself, what's wrong with this dude, man? I'm deaf, but you ain't got to tell nobody. That's my Big John story. What does this dude think about?
You want to go church with me?
All right, I don't.
We all had plenty. We had plenty.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many. There's so many, man. But one thing I will say that people outside the house may not know is how funny Coach is.
Yeah.
And I can remember one time in particular, he was having some back issues, right? He had this big pad or cushion or something that you can wear around your back. And so for some reason, he had on his neck at this particular time. Black, you shaking your head like you remember this joint. And so he was walking down, the office is upstairs. So he was walking down the steps. It was probably about 4 or 5 of us in the gym, right, shooting around, doing something. And he missed that last step. And Bama fell and hit the floor. And
you can't laugh. Could you laugh?
Hey, Joe, we took off running. Everybody just took off running, Joe, because we wanted to laugh so bad. We was biting holes in our lip, right? So a couple minutes later, me and Joy.
Wait a second, I get my breath. No, he didn't. No.
So, a couple minutes later, me and Joey sitting in the training room, Miss Michael, and Coach walking in. He was like, yeah, you mother, think y'all slick, don't you? Uh-huh. I know y'all was laughing at my ass.
Joy, so he stole your story, Joy.
No, he didn't. It's plenty of them, Gene. I have one too, as you know. Oh man. Let me see. So let's see which one I'm going to tell. So no, church. And I know you remember this one, church. This had to have been. This was junior year. Junior. I can't even remember junior or senior year. So we walk into McDonough. We get dressed for practice, and coach was like, "Line up." Like, damn, we running already? He's like, we normally do the splits after practice.
Depending on the move.
Yeah, true. So Gene, we're running our ass off at the beginning of practice. So after we do all our sprints, coach put everybody, everybody had their own water bottles. So coach put our water bottles by, he said,
water bottles.
Yeah.
Water bottles.
So look,
let me get
Genie had gotten soft in his old age.
What?
So look, so he put everybody's water bottles by them. I think we were shooting free throws. So he put everybody's water bottle by. He said, "I want y'all to drink y'all water bottle until it's empty."
Set up.
Damn, exactly. A setup. Exactly.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? So I'm drinking, I have Gatorade in mine, so I'm drinking it down. I'm thirsty. We ran our ass off. So I'm looking, and I won't say any names, but there's a couple guys. It's a couple guys on the team that they would take a sip of theirs, and they'd be like, tastes, something's not right. Yeah, it tastes funny. So I'm like, okay, well, shit, And he said, we're gonna run unless everybody drinks all of their Gatorade. Like, damn, what's up with that? What is? So we, everybody drank their stuff except those two guys. It was two guys. Everybody had drank their stuff. So coach sat us down, and he said, he went down the line. Church, did you drink your Gatorade? Yes, I did. Joey, yeah, I did. XYZ, you did? Yeah. Then he got to these other two guys. He said, did y'all drink y'all Gatorade? Like, no. And one of the guys said, no, coach, mine not Gatorade. I have beer in my Gatorade bottle. So what he did, Gene, he put Heineken in a couple of their Gatorades bottle because he found out the night before they went to a concert and was drinking.
Mental case, man.
Yeah, so he put Heineken, and then he said, and it's not that cheap shit, it's Heineken. In college, you can drink Milwaukee's best. It's not that cheap shit. I got Heineken in there for you.
Only Coach Thompson.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. I want to end with, obviously, support for Patrick.
No doubt.
Again,
Yes,
I don't know if I would be bothering y'all or bothering former players if it wasn't Patrick. This is about doing everything we can to put Georgetown in a positive light. Because this is the world we live in now. Like, if you're not putting your best foot forward, you're behind the curve. It's what you said, Church. If you're not online in some facet, what are you doing? So you guys are beacons of the program. Continue to do what you do. But again, let's put Patrick forward. Let's give him the help just by being who we are. Like, I don't think it's anything extra. Right. But again, if it's the DMV, if it's Louisiana, if it's Texas, if it's Richmond, obviously, I think it's all hands on deck. And this is his fourth year. We need some dogs. I get the 5 stars and I get the 4 stars, but we know there's some 3 stars down there lifting up cars somewhere.
Right. That are hungry.
And that's always been a part of our program.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked
And I-
specifically about Louisiana.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jordan.
And I just want to say, I'm not as involved in the program as I should be probably, but I watch, and I think Patrick is doing a tremendous job. If you just from a basketball perspective, I think that him being able to coach that's a no-brainer. He can coach. If you know basketball, you can see it. He can coach. You know, now it's about just building on, just building, getting the right guy, like you said, getting the right guy for his system. That's it. The coaching thing, he can coach. And the thing about college that I think it's an accumulation of talent. So that's the key. So yeah, you have to get the guys in there. You got to get the guys that fit your system. They don't have to be 5 stars. You got to get the guys that fit your system and that are willing to do that needs to be done to win basketball games. The coaching
man on Twitter that actually runs like he does copy for these episodes. I think that accumulation of talent, he's definitely going to put that on Twitter today if he's listening, because that's what it is. That's
it is. It's basketball is not that complicated. Basketball is a simple game. And Patrick has been a great player. He's been a great coach his entire career. So it's not about coaching. College you got to recruit. You got to make sure you get the right guys in. And Georgetown is at a different. Although we're a high major, I mean, our standards are a little bit different than the other blue bloods. So we're at a disadvantage. You really have to get kids in that want to be part of the history and part of the program. We don't have $100 handshakes.
No.
We don't do any of those things. So we're inherently at a disadvantage. So the kids that you get in, and those kids really want to be a part of something. So those are the kids that are going to transition into the future and get this program back where it should be.
Well, I'm going to challenge you both on, I think, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle your business, the way you are going through your journey post-grad. Georgetown is associated with us whether we say it or not. So I just think continue doing what you're doing. That puts a positive light on Georgetown basketball. Whether you go to a game or whether you are not online like Churchwell, I just think the way you two conduct yourselves, you are, again, you're doing exactly what I'm talking about, which is, look, I'm gonna put Georgetown on my back, and I'm gonna give back in the way that I live, like the way that I display and show myself. So, on that note, fellas, much appreciation. I promise I won't call you after this to what do you call it? Like,
to vent.
I will tell you this. If either of you watch this again, don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to you.
Don't rewatch it.
One episode.
Yeah.
That because this to me is live, and it's almost like when it's done, we got more things to share. But seriously, much love, guys. Please stay in touch. I promise you, I will. And let's keep being Hoyas. Let's keep representing.
Yes,
appreciate
indeed.
you, Gene.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you, man.
Thanks, Gene. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Gene.
All right.
All right, Church.
All right, y'all. All right, Black.
All right, Black.
All right now, Gene.